Hey guys, Justin Brock here with Medicare Coach. Today I was going to answer a couple of questions we've seen in the group. Plan L and Plan K, that was brought up, and I want to go over, when that might, the very few scenarios where that might be an option for somebody. And in that I'm going to talk about AARP substandard ratings, and then also wanted to address what some people were talking about, what to expect from a marketing organization, whether it's an IMO, FMO, or NMO. And I'm just going to go over those few things. So hang tight and be right back. Okay, so someone brought up the question about the Plan K. They had run into someone who had a Plan K, and it appeared that in this situation it was a misuse of the Plan K, in my opinion. They had it where, someone was written the Plan K when they could get a Plan G for, next to the same price. And that makes no sense. That just doesn't make any sense. So first I'm going to go over what the Plan K and the Plan L are. And because I write it so rarely, I have to pretty much read it off. But the Plan K is a Medicare supplement that pays 50% of your Part A deductible. It pays 50% of your blood, so 50% of all your out-of-pocket expenses with Part A, and 50% of all your expenses with Part B, except for the $183 deductible. You still have to pay the $183 deductible. And then also on Plan K, they have a maximum out-of-pocket of $5,240 per calendar year. So, that gives somebody a 50% coverage basically until they reach $5,240. Plan L is very similar. It pays 25% of your Part A out-of-pocket expenses. So, I'm sorry, it pays 75% of your Part A out-of-pocket expenses, and you still pay 25%. In doing that, it also pays 25 or 75% of your Part B expenses, but you still have to pay that $183 Part B deductible. On that one, you have a maximum out-of-pocket lowered to $2,620. So, when are these an option? I've had a couple of people who in the past were in really bad health and they couldn't get approved. They couldn't get approved for Cigna Substandard. They couldn't get approved for Bankers Fidelity Substandard. So I'm talking about people who were in the hospital, 6 months ago, have 150 units of insulin daily, on a bunch of COPD inhalers, whatever it takes to not be, able to get those other ones. AARP has a substandard plan, and on the substandard plan, or United Healthcare, some people will correct me, I'm sure, but United Healthcare AARP has a substandard plan, and I'm looking at their book to give you kind of the idea of the rates. So for non-tobacco users who can't qualify for their premium or their preferred rates, you can get these substandard rates. And I'm going to give you an example. A Plan F on Bank Draft for a non-tobacco user, male or female, would be $331.75 for a Plan F. So very expensive. So when you're getting these people who have no supplement at all in place, or they are hating their Medicare Advantage plan because they live in a rural area and nobody accepts it, or whatever reason that they want to go to a supplement and they have to, you can show them that Plan F rate. AARP does have a Plan G rate now, but the Plan G is still $309.95. Now this is Mississippi rates that I'm giving you, but it's similar concepts everywhere. If I go down to a Plan N, you can get that substandard rate for $250 a month. But the really appealing thing here would be the Plan L and Plan K, because the Plan L would be $190 a month, and the Plan K would get all the way down to $123 a month. So it's not really a bad deal, because at $123 a month, it's covering 50% of their expenses and then 50% of their out-of-pocket, and then it's also putting an out-of-pocket maximum on their Medicare. So that's, I mean, if I was in those shoes, which hopefully I would never find myself in those shoes, I would take a Plan K as well. It puts a cap on what your out-of-pocket can be, and you can still get it for a reasonable rate because you have some skin in the game with it. So I mean, I've used that a few times. I've used the Plan L a couple of times. Not very often, but when you run into them, sometimes that could have been the appropriate use of that plan. But if someone is healthy enough or turning 65 or whatever it may be, and someone has written them those plans, it's probably a misuse of the plan. Now, if someone was turning 65 and they had the Plan K or Plan L before as a disability supplement rate, that may have been an appropriate use. I just don't know if anybody even offers it under 65. I've never written it for that. But anyway, that is a little lesson on the substandard ratings with AARP in a way that you can use them. If you're not utilizing that in your portfolio, it can save the day sometimes. We've actually written a lot of those substandard Plan Fs and Plan Ns. You get somebody that's really sick and they need the supplement, they'll pay more to have that coverage. So second big question I wanted to go over was a lot of people have been talking about different marketing organizations and what to expect out of your marketing organization. And a lot of times I think it depends on who your first marketer was as to what you expect. I'm a little bit, there's certain things that some people expect that are a little odd. I don't know of many marketing organizations that store your applications or scopes of appointment for you. I don't know why this would be a benefit, because now with Radius Bob's CRM is like $19 a month, or you can get a Google Drive or a HIPAA compliant drive through emailpros.com, somewhere like that, where you can store those scopes of appointment digitally yourself. So if you're already faxing them or scanning them to this FMO, it would make sense just to store them yourself and get an FMO that's going to give you better compensation, because that's not really very important in my opinion. Or just keep a filing cabinet with a lock and key on it full of scopes of appointments, because you do have to keep them for 10 years. So do that. I don't see the benefit in that. Plus, Humana will keep the scope of appointment on file for 10 years for you, as long as you use their scope of appointment form and you put the barcodes correctly on the application and the corresponding scope. Not sure if many of the other carriers are doing that, but Humana does. Anyway, so that's one I wanted to address. Some other things that I would look for from marketers, for me in my position, and I think I speak for a lot of your bigger producers, support is the big thing. When you have a case that's hard to get through and you want to get some support on it, you want someone who can support you. And I mean like really go to bat for you, to help you out, who can pull their weight a little bit to get things done and to treat you like you're worth something because you're a big producer. If you're just starting out, I'm sure a lot of people are looking for leads or help getting leads. I think we live in an era now where it's easier than ever to figure out how to get your own leads. You just have to get a little bit creative with it. And so maybe I would look for an FMO or an IMO or NMO with with some training as to how to do that. I am and I also want to hit on this FMO concept. The acronym itself is funny to me because different people refer to themselves as IMOs, NMOs, MOs, FMOs. I think we throw those acronyms around thinking they all mean the same thing. Each carrier has different deciding factors as to what gives you a certain contract level. So, like, actually, the higher up you get, you see the FMO contract level is not very high. A lot of carriers have much higher than an FMO contract level. I mean, we have MO contract levels, and we're not big recruiters or anything. Anyway, that's just a side note. So another thing that I would look for from a marketing organization would be let's see. So I wouldn't look for directly for leads from them. I mean, I think that if they're going to really give you leads, they're probably taking a huge override on you. If they may sell you some leads, but you can buy leads yourself, so you don't really need to buy them from a marketing organization. That doesn't make any sense. There's not really any benefit to that. And then what was the other thing that people were looking at? I mean, I guess plenty of options and guidance is good. I mean, the people that I consult, I can text them questions and they'll respond to me pretty promptly, letting me know the answer, whether a product is a good product, whether I should do this, if I can get that contract, if it's worth it, what are the commission levels, if I have a downline agent that wants to get a contract, what commission level can I justify, what kind of proof of production do I have to get to justify a certain level. Any questions I have like that, I'm able to get the answer to, and that's what I look for in a marketer, is having plenty of options, some training, and maybe some at least good ideas as to how to get leads. I think a lot of people come into the market with an FMO that promises them the moon, doesn't deliver the moon, and then they start shopping for another FMO that's going to deliver said moon. The thing is, the moon doesn't exist. This ship full of promises is not real. I mean, nobody's going to do all that stuff to you. They're just promising you that to get these contracts, and then they hope you do well, even though they know they're not going to deliver a lot of these things. If somebody's offering to house your scopes of appointment, if they're offering to give you leads and training and every single thing, it's bogus. There are plenty that will offer you a mechanism to get leads. They'll say, we're going to help you get telemarketers, or we're going to sell you a telemarketer, or we're going to help you get internet leads, or we're going to sell you internet leads. But that's not giving you leads. That's selling you another product or service, or just selling you some training on how to do it yourself. So completely different concept. So that's my take on marketing organizations. I think that it seems that people have put a lot of stock into having marketers do everything for them, and I can tell you the no successful agent or agency that I have met has heavily depended on their marketers. The marketers are there to get them the contract levels that they can justify and deserve, and to give them guidance and maybe some training. That's it. You start expecting more than that, you're getting fooled. There's people on the internet that act like they're going to give you all these different things, but really training is the only thing that sets some of them apart from others. Training and support. If you get one that will support you, will answer your questions, will train you, and then that's going to be as good as it gets, in my opinion. So anyway, if you guys have any more questions, please drop them below. I'm always going to make these videos to try to provide insight and help the group grow. So love to have some recommendations as to what we should cover in the next video. Talk to you guys soon.